So, as soon as I finished recording this video, I went online to look for some pictures to make a thumbnail, and I found an article where Bill Maher responds to the criticisms regarding his remarks towards Stanley's legacy, and he says, and I quote, I think it's a direct quote, he says the outrage from comic book fans proves his point, or is a win for him. Wow. The ego of this guy. The ego of this guy. Leave it to Bill Maher to say something completely disgusting, ridiculous, get criticized for it, and then use that criticism to say, hey, that proves I'm right, eh? So, by the way, during this video, I admit that in my younger years, I was a Bill Maher fan. I describe myself as back when I was ignorant. Before anyone starts commenting, no, I'm not saying that Bill Maher fans are ignorant. Not all of them. I was ignorant. So that is a direct criticism of myself. I am not generalizing Bill Maher fans. Enjoy the video. As you guys are aware, I try my very best to attempt to avoid giving my opinions outright. I present my videos in a very objective way, I hope. I give you commentary on my gameplays. I give you reviews of music and games and movies that I watch. I tell you this is how I feel. I welcome opposing views, and I try not to come out and directly state how I feel. I try to be objective. I've always tried to, as I've mentioned several times before, try to be an open platform, a platform for entertainment that everyone can enjoy. I don't want to pick sides. I don't want to draw the line, be divisive, however you say that fucking word. But in times like this, I feel it is necessary to come out and state my mind. And I will still try to do so in a way that is not like a douche. Because keeping that open platform, keeping that relationship between people you may not agree with, that is very important. Too many times people get so sidetracked by labels, by sides. They think if you're Republican, you can't be friends with Democrats. You can't agree with them on something. They think if you're a Democrat, you can't go to the other side. This country, this world is so obsessed with picking a side, objectivity. Games of absolutes, as Obi-Wan says, only the Sith deal in absolutes. To throw a little bit of nerdism in there for you. But like I said, times like this is when I feel like I should state my mind, and that's what I'm going to do. Now, quite recently, we lost a legend. Stanley passed away at the amazing age of 95, and still it feels like he was taken too soon. And there has been an outpour of mourning, of remembrance, of respect, of love for this amazing man and the worlds that he gave us, the stories he gave us, the heroes we've been able to look up to and be enthralled by since we were little kids. And unfortunately, there's also been an outpour of lies, of just downright accusations. Now, I'm not going to get into the accusations of whether or not Stanley was racist or sexist. I think that's all bullshit, especially if you look at his track record, everything he's done for progressive, for progressives, really. He's been at the forefront as far as comic books go. He gave us, I believe, the first gay comic book character, that mutant in the X-Men. I may be wrong on that. I think I have my facts straight, but that's not important. I'm not going to get into that aspect, because as far as I'm concerned, all those are just outright damn ridiculously hysterical, borderline psychopathic lies about a man who was nothing like that. Right now I want to talk about Bill Maher. Bill Maher and his comments about Stanley's death and how ridiculous it is for people to love comic books still when they're adults. Now, a few things. In my younger years, I was a huge Bill Maher fan, back when I was ignorant. I would swallow everything this man would spew, to be honest with you. I would like to I would like to take full responsibility. I gotta be honest with myself and with you. It was a lot concerning how I was raised. I was, unfortunately, this is the only time I'm gonna talk about this, because I don't like to talk about my past. I don't like to bring it up. I was raised by a very angry atheist woman who used to be Christian, but decided to blame that religion once her life went to shit. Okay? And I was, unfortunately, from a very young age, filled and drowned in rhetoric. Political rhetoric, mainly, about who I should vote for, who I should believe, who I should trust, who I should hate. And unfortunately, I took some of the qualities of that. Now, thankfully, in my adult years, I've managed to break away from that toxicity. And I hope that I've matured in a more, well, I just hope I've matured, basically. So yes, I used to be a huge fan of Bill Maher back in my older days when I was a douche. And since then, as I grew older, as I started to look at the world from different perspectives, and I realized that I didn't feel that way anymore. As I grew, I outgrew him. I outgrew that rhetoric. I outgrew that perspective. Now, if you're still a Bill Maher fan, that's fine. Again, I don't really want to draw lines in the sand and say you're the enemy. Me personally, I don't like that particular way of thinking anymore. There are some things I still agree with him on, sometimes. But as far as the way he delivers his message, yeah, not a fan anymore. So anyway, he went on to talk about Stan Lee, and one of the things he said was there was a post on Reddit that said that he's thankful to live in a world with Stan Lee. Whoever wrote that, I agree with you. And Bill decided to turn around and say, well, I'm thankful for a world with oxygen and trees. That's only the tip of the iceberg. Bill goes on to, I don't have the blog in front of me right now, so I don't have all my facts, so forgive me, but he goes on to talk about how the dumbing down of America, of the world, I think, is what he said, but he definitely said America is contributed to people's infatuation with comic books. He even goes so far as to blame the Trump presidency on people who love comic books. Now, aside from all that nonsense, there's no link between people who like comic books and people who vote for Trump. Half and half. I think that if you talk to somebody, there's no certainty that if they love comic books, they vote for Trump, and if they love Trump, they vote for... if they vote for Trump, they love comic books. So that's just ridiculous out the gate. Just ridiculous out the gate. My main issue right here is how come we didn't hear any of this when Stanley was alive? Why? The truth is, he waited till he died to say something. If he felt like this all the way, he either felt this way the whole time, was just waiting for the man to croak. No disrespect, Stanley, I love you. Or he doesn't feel this way, he just wants to be edgy. You gotta pick one. There can't be one or the other. The fact that he waited to take advantage of this death, to attack, to slander someone's legacy, someone who cannot defend themselves because they are not alive. That is the lowest thing. That's one of the lowest things a person can do. I have no words for that level of sliminess, of scum. Not everyone loves comic books. Not everyone has to love comic books. You cannot, however, deny Stan's legacy. And he was a great man. That's just beyond me. This is fucking... what's the word I'm looking for? Inexcusable behavior. It should be called out. And luckily it is. I'm not the first person to do this. There have been so many other YouTubers. I just wanted to give my 2 cents because as a comic book fan, I felt it was not right for me to keep myself silenced. Not right at all. So Bill Maher should be ashamed of himself. People who have taken this opportunity to attack Stan Lee, I don't mind criticisms at all. You can bear criticism all you want to. But I don't remember hearing a single, not this much outpour when Stan Lee was alive. Like, I didn't hear any of the rumors when he was alive. And now this, to completely lay to waste the entire legacy of Stan Lee, the entire legitimacy of what he brought, what he gave millions and millions of people. That is too low for words. That's too low for words. So while I was not a fan of Bill Maher anymore, I shared no resentment toward him. I shared no bad feelings, no negative attitude toward him until now. Something like that. I don't think a simple apology is going to fix it. That's just signs of a terrible human being, unfortunately. And I don't like to lay judgment to people, but when people are so harshly judgmental toward other people, I gotta put my hat in the ring. I gotta stand up and say, this is fucking wrong. This is pathetic. And it is. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I hope I managed to once again give you guys my opinions while being also, well, open-minded in a way. If this video upset you, I don't want to say I'm terribly sorry, because this is how it is, man. I mean, behavior like this needs to be called out. If you can defend Bill Maher's words, then leave a comment. I'll listen to it. I'll always hear opposing sides. I may not agree. I will always try to respect that, though. Alright, keep the coffee hot. As always, finish the fight. Make sure you give him hell, Chel. See you guys in the next one.